I'll give you a tour. The living room is definitely my favorite room of the house. It's a central area, so usually the pets are in here too, and it can be either a great working space or a great relaxing space. It's definitely covered with a lot of our most cherished items, whether it's artwork or things from our childhood and so much more. I'm also a really big reader, so if I'm not making art or, working at school, you can find me reading a book. This shelf here is actually different books that I've had the pleasure of working on. So whether it's books I've created for other authors and artists, these books here are actually books that I have illustrated myself, which is very cool. So we've been renting this house for over 5 years. We never really intended on staying here that long, but this house has really been through a lot with us. So our house is 704 square feet, 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom, garage that has been transformed into my print lab, 2 cats and 1 dog, and about 1 million specks of pet fur that are all over the house at any point in time. It's really important to me that there's multiple spots in the house where I can sit, relax, and take my work with me, wherever that may be. Inside here, I have a lot of earrings that I've made, whether they're from clay or they're from embroidery floss. I like to make them kind of based off whether it's like a specific occasion or like a holiday. These ones over here made for a holiday. So this is my favorite part of our bedroom. I actually thrifted all of these frames over the course of a few years and put different photos in them that represent our family. My motto for decorating our house is to kind of make it feel like it's a museum. And I feel like it's fun to make it feel like you're going through each room and something's a little bit different. You don't know what you're gonna find in each one. My husband works from home and I do a lot of illustration and design work on weeknights and weekends, so we spend a lot of time in here. In our office, we have 12 storage containers, 2 desks, 2 looms, 1 pottery wheel, and 1 massive inventory ladder that's for my shop. And my dad actually helped to build this. And it was used for markets, but we ended up putting it into the office because it really helps to kind of keep all of my storage supplies and shipping supplies and even just the inventory kind of put all together. I also like to put on some of the different mediums and tools that I use to create some of the products. I've also really been getting into fiber arts. So aside from my 2 looms where I've been creating more tapestries, I also have a ton of felt, embroidery floss, needle felting, needle punching, all that good stuff that's inside of the bins that I have labeled here. So the story with all of these storage containers is that there were so many nights when my husband and I would be out walking the dog and we would just see these being thrown out, which is insane because these are so useful. And most of these have ended up here into our office. It's important for us to put effort into how our house looks because we don't have a lot of space here. Don't get me wrong, we're both 2 very artistic people, so at any moment's notice, the living room might need to become that studio space, but we also don't want it to look like a tornado has just ripped through it when someone comes over. So we've had to get creative with how we make sure that the house stays organized. So I took printmaking in college simply because I just needed to satisfy credit, but I ended up just totally falling in love with the process. And I just kind of knew that once I graduated, I needed to make my own at-home print lab. My dad actually helped me to custom build this table. And then from there, at-home screen printing definitely presents its own challenges, like the exposure height and the exposure time, but I've definitely made it a pretty good system for here. We have 2 printing tables, 1 exposure unit, 2 scoop coaters, 11 screens, 1 washout booth, and 3 squeegees. My husband also built a washout booth for me here, which is definitely way more convenient than washing stencils out in the shower. He also built me a rack to hang my screens, which is super useful to store them, especially if they have a design on them that I plan to keep on permanently. I like to usually give my ink some kind of fun names when I'm putting them together. Blue Jean Baby Queen, Eat Your Veggies Green. When I do my ink, sometimes I buy store-bought ones, but when I have inks where I mix the own original colors, I'll take my iPad out out and I'll actually mix my new colors to match with the colors that I digitally put together first. All right, well, thanks for coming to visit, but I have to finish reading this book before it's due to library, so you gotta go. All right, bye. Friends, thanks so much for coming to visit my art room. Here we actually have multiple art teachers, and in this area here we have 2 art rooms. So come on in and I'll show you mine. In my room, I have 6 student tables, and I have a total of 21 chairs. We actually split the class sizes when they come. So at max, my class sizes are between 9 to 12 students. We also have a lot of really cool technology, such as 3D printers, 1 printing press, a whole iPad art lab that has 30 iPads for digital art, 6 pottery wheels, and so much more. I have got 18 cabinets in this art room. Inside here is actually my fiber cabinet, and as you can see, I've been working really hard to try and make sure that I have labels on everything so that it's super easy to find and organized. And this here is my friend supply table. So this is where students have access to their everyday items that they'll need, which yes, are color coded because that's another big thing of organization in my room. So over here at my desk, this is where I sit to do my demonstrations. I have my document camera here, my laptop over here, but you'll also notice around me that I really like to have the drawings that the kids have made me, as well as some cards that I've gotten from them throughout the years. And it helps me remember my why for teaching, even on the days that maybe are a little bit rougher than others. Another area of my room that I'm very excited about are our pottery wheels. We are one of the only elementary schools in our county that has access to these, which is really cool because I don't even think I had access to pottery wheels until I was in high school. So each year with my sculpture-focused students, I give them the opportunity to throw on the wheels with me. This is a medium that the kids can work with, and they kind of realize that it can have a mind of its own, and we just kind of got to go with the flow. So I love having these wheels here. It gets kids inspired and excited to work with this type of medium and also to get to work with this type of equipment. We also have a kiln room in the back that is home to an electric and a manual kiln. We also have a ton of storage inside this room for our clay pieces to dry, as well as for where our glazes are. So this is our printing press, and it's really cool how many students I can get to work on this at a time. Just a little bit ago, I had some second graders. There was about 9 of them, and they needed 3 prints each, and we were able to get 27 prints done in a matter of 20 minutes. It was pretty awesome. When my students see this, they're usually very confused by what this contraption is, but I think it's so neat that they have access to this in elementary school is way cool. This area here is definitely one of my favorite areas of my room. It's the free choice area. I've been working really hard the past few years to make this a great space for the kids to get to come to when they're done with the project that we're working on in class. I have a wide variety of things that they can choose from when they come over here. They can choose a storybook to read. I also have these arranged into different categories, so it's easy for them to be able to go in and choose what they're interested in doing. I really love the free choice area because it allows for my students to be independent and choosing how they want to express their creativity. And I can't wait to continue to build this area out with each year that I'm here. Thanks so much for coming to visit me in my art room, but there's so much to do and so little time. So bye.